So today we're going to talk a bit about what to do when you feel, I don't know how to describe it, feel worthless, maybe that's the word, maybe it's a bit harsh, empty, unfulfilled in life. Here I am, I'm 32 years old. I don't really have any accolades, no educational merit to my name. I've worked in all manner of jobs, from manual labour to driving jobs, and yeah, I'm at a point in my life now where I want to make something of myself. You know, I don't want something to work out, right? I'm going to make something work. That's the biggest difference here, I think, between me now and past me. I've done a lot of things. Sorry about the shivering, guys. I've just done 5-minute dunk in the ice bath and I'm freezing. But more on that in another video. So yeah, in the position I'm in now, 32 years old, my health is not where I want it to be. I don't have any bad habits. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't engage in recreational drugs of any kind. I'm not on any pharmaceutical drugs for any medical reasons. So the way I look at it is my health is 100% in my control, and it's that time. It's that time to take full advantage of it, regardless of what life throws at you, regardless of the situation, the money situation. Time is the one thing that we can't control, but we can control what we do with the time we have. Now, I know there's going to be some people watching this thinking, you know, perhaps maybe looking at the situation. I am in a garage. A lot of people don't have access to a garage. I am aware of that. However, I am in the middle of an eviction as well. Very soon, I won't have access to this garage. Behind you is one of my pride and joys. I'll show you here. It's my Suzuki Katana GSXS 1000 for people who are curious about the engine size. She's 900cc, 999cc. She's a leader bike. She's an absolute beauty. And come Wednesday, I'll probably never see this bike again. Yeah. It was bought over time. It's been paid off. And yeah, because of this move, I've been forced to sell it. You know, money wise, I don't have a lot of money. In fact, at the minute, I've currently got no money. And yeah, it's in this situation that I'm in, when all the, what would you call it, all the cogs have meshed together, it's like a realization factor. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. It really doesn't. You know, whether you're being evicted as I am, whether you've got no money as I have, the one thing that I can promise you now is you do have time. And so it really comes down to, what do you do with that time? Don't sit around. Don't wait. Don't mope. Don't be sad. You know, don't be angry with the situation, because at the end of the day, where's that going to get you? Right? I have been on this journey of mine, okay, only for about 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks. And I know it seems early. I'm not trying to come across as a guru. I'm an average Joe. There's nothing special in my life. And I think that this can connect and relate to the majority of the world, realistically. You know, I don't have supercars, I don't have mansions, you know, I don't own property. And the thing I think that all of us can resonate with together is, I don't know where I'm going to end up. But I do know is that I'm going to try as hard as I can to influence that direction. Okay? And I've decided to influence that direction by showing people that even with the average Joe's lifestyle, you can find the time to pursue your passions, you know, to start new ones, and most importantly, to look after yourself. Because looking after yourself It has its downsides, i.e. ice baths. I love them, okay, but they are horrible. You know, sitting in there for 5 minutes, shivering in pure discomfort, because that's what it is. It's not nice. But it's not, for that situation, it's not in the moment you've got to think about. It's the benefits it gives you after. You know, as soon as I've come out of that, I've come here to speak with you, to try and connect with the millions of other people out there in the world that I know are just like me. You know, our circumstances definitely differ. I don't have kids, for example. I'm sure plenty of people out here do have kids. My best mate has a daughter, bless her little soul. You know, she's an angel. But, you know, I can imagine that that plays a large part in his routine, his day-to-day life. And so he has to find his way to fit the things he wants to do in with that, because it's a very important part of his life. I respect that and I understand it. You know, I have dogs, for example. Some people may not have pets. You know, the different jobs everyone does from different hours. You might work 9-5, you might work 10-6, 2-10. You know, this type of stuff. There's always mitigating factors. But as I said to you earlier, the thing we can control is what we do with the free time we are given. And all of us have free time. Okay, I can promise you now, we all have free time. There are very few people in circumstances way completely out of their control who don't have a couple of hours a day to focus on the things that we want to do, the passions that we want to pursue, the joys in life that we want to experience. You know, this video is all about telling you that, you know, find those little breaks throughout your day, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 40-minute breaks, and, you know, dedicate that time to you, because you deserve it. You know, don't live your life like you're just existing. You know, find the time in your day to make your life fulfilling, to make your life worthwhile. Even if it incorporates things that make you uncomfortable, in those situations you must look at the bigger picture. For example, if you're on a weight loss journey, you know, one run isn't going to turn you into the person you want. 200 runs though, and I can promise you now you'll be well on your way. Okay? You're all worth it. We are all worth it. You know, we don't deserve to just exist. We deserve to live and be the people that we want to be. The hobbies and the passions and the projects that we all wish we could engage in, it's time to start them today. You know, I'm going to be here, hopefully, for many, many years in the future. I want to speak to everyone about their situation, their journey. I want to help. I want to inspire. You know, I want to build a community where people can come together no matter what their circumstances and be surrounded by people where it's going to be support. You know, sometimes support does come in the form of criticism because, you know, as I well know from experiences in my life, sometimes someone needs a slap on the butt to basically say, yo man, come on, get yourself into gear. Because we as humans, for some strange reason, I blame it on the age of technology, but as things currently stand, we are drawn to laziness. We are drawn to self-destructive habits. And I want to create a bubble, an area where people can come in and be immune to all that, be immune to the negativity, be immune to the influence, be immune to, you know, self-destruction. I want to create an area where once people come in here, they are immediately influenced and inspired to be the people that they want to be. So let's get it started, you know. And remember, the most important thing, it can all start with one small change. You don't need to rewrite your life overnight. That won't happen. You know, it's impossible, but you can make a start, and that's when the journey begins. You know, if you are one of those types of people that you really struggle getting up in the morning, you know, say to yourself, from now on, I'm waking up at 7 o'clock. You know, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to join the 4 o'clock club with the gurus. Hell, I don't wake up at 4 o'clock, you know, but you can say to yourself, I'm going to wake up at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is a beautiful time of the day to seize the opportunity to get started. Whether you choose to go on a beautiful run when it's relatively quiet, you know, down a nice country lane. There are so many things that we are going to start doing as a community. And I'm really excited for the journey. You know, don't let whatever's happened in your life up to this point bring you down. Okay, you're still here, and I still want you to be here. I want you to join me and everyone else that's going to be here over the next few years, because we are going to change the world. I genuinely believe it. I'm going to combat this wave of negativity that is going over the world, and I'm going to inspire people to be better just by being the simple Joe. This is the 5th or 6th week into my journey, and I can promise this now. No matter what happens in my future, if the direction it goes in is crazy, wild and out of whack, influence will never change me. Money will never change me. I don't ever want to be famous, but if it comes to that point where I'm becoming well enough known, fame will never change me. I'll never forget where I've come from, and I have come from nothing. And yeah, I'm always going to be for those people, because the world is always going to have those people. So, on a more positive note, let's get it started, people. Like this video, comment, tell me about your situation. Don't feel embarrassed. No matter what it is, you will have my support. You will have my advice, as much as I can give. And let's start growing this. If you've seen any other videos on my channel at the minute, it is slow growth. There's not a lot on there, but I'm currently suffering from a knee injury. It's really irritating me because it's stopping me from running. But I have been using that as an excuse to be lazy. And so this was my day where I said, you know what, screw it. If I can't record, I'm running, I'm going to record something else. And so I wanted to get this message out there. I wanted to let everyone know what the crack is, what's going on. And yeah, I think I'm going to upload the ice bath, the ice plunge, as a separate video. Go and watch it. It's going to be hilarious. I'm going to go watch it in a minute. Just watch me shiver. I will say this for anyone who is curious. Don't worry about my lips turning blue. It happens when I get extremely cold. It's not a medical thing. I've had it checked out before. It's just a phenomenon. Some people have it. My lips turn jet blue when I get into a cold environment. So yeah, don't worry about that. And yeah, hope to hear from you soon. Other than that, remember, seize the day. Carpe diem. Latin, for all of you who are curious. Peace out.